that helps. Okay. So yeah, that seems to help. I may mess with the volume for the sound and voices once I get to playing. Okay. Alright, so, basically, I said that this is part 1. I don't know if this is, it depends on how long it takes. But the story is play as the newest servant to Prince Railan, who's had all of his previous servants fired. While navigating your position, you'll try to pry down his carefully guarded walls as you challenge him on everything he believes about himself and the world. Just try not to get fired in the first place. The love interest is Prince Railan, is the second and forgotten son of the king and queen of Wiltshire. The prince has locked himself away and now must contend with his brand new servant disrupting his life, possibly even falling in love with them. He's very guarded and he has a defeatist attitude about life, but at his core he is lonely and looking for someone to give him affection. Has a real soft spot once you get past all of his walls. So he's basically the spare heir. Features themable protagonist and pronoun choices, partial voice acting, custom title and romance music tracks, 25,000 plus words, 2 good endings, 1 bad ending, a walkthrough, unlockable CGs and gallery, unlockable achievements, and 1 romanceable prince. And this developer assures that no Gen AI was used in this indie game. It's annoying that it has to be included, but there you go. Content warning, suggestive dialogue and profanity, discussion of mental health. So there are other games by this company which I may stream in the future, but I picked this one to stream because Gray and Wright, who wrote Travelers and Tales and Swords and Shields, was the creative director for this game, and said it was their first time being creative director. So it's like, okay, and they did the writing, and so yeah, give it a try because I've enjoyed all of Gray's other games that they did themselves. So, here we go. Right. Let's get started. What's your name? Ooh, I could pick Sasha. No, I don't want to go with Sasha. Nothing against the name, it's just I associate it with a different character entirely. And so I don't want to have that association with another character. So the question is, before I even get further along, do I want to have a female character, a male character, or a non-binary character? That's a good question. Let's go with Alex. Oh, happy adventure. Choose your pronouns. They, them. And save. Here we go. I stand nervously outside the throne room. I still can't believe I'm really here. The past month has been a blur, and I'm feeling overwhelmed. I am a servant, one of the best in the kingdom, at least according to Lord Elrus, whom I used to work for. He was an old man, his fighting days done, and he lived a life of comfortable retirement for his last years of life. I had helped him with all of his needs, and last month he passed away peacefully in his sleep. It had been a sad day for all who loved him, but we all knew he had a life well lived. Most of his fortune went to his family, as was to be expected, but he set me up with a fair bit of gold, certainly enough to stash away and continue to build on it. Most notably, he left a letter of recommendation that he had written before he died. I've read it. It's a glowing review of my services to be delivered to their majesties the King and Queen of Wiltshire. Or Wiltshire. I say shire because that's how they pronounce it in England, and I've been watching a lot of Great British Bake Off. Employment in the royal household would set me up for life. The pay is excellent, as is to be expected by the lavish royals. It means a steady job with work I enjoy. I'm relieved that he gave me this option. I'm most excited for the good pay or the good work. I enjoy what I do, so I've taken this as my career. I have good qualifications. I know how to best tend to someone. It's relaxing when I'm cleaning or helping someone start their day. I can just focus on my work. Taking a deep breath in and out, the royal guards open the large gilded doors to the throne room. I walk along the rolled-out carpet. It feels very strange to be in such an opulent place that is tittering with nobles and guards, all dressed in beautiful clothes I couldn't think of touching. I feel desperately out of place, and the back of my neck pricks with sweat. At the end of the hall, twin thrones loom over. The queen gives me a warm smile as I approach, and the king's face remains stony. I kneel before them. Welcome, Alex. Is that correct? Yes, Your Majesty. It's an honor to be here. Such good manners. Yes, I think you'll be a good fit. We received the letter. It's a shame about dear old Lord Elrus. He was a fine member of the nobility here in Wiltshire. What a glowing recommendation he said of you. Are you sure you are up to the task? Oh, that's the king. Are you sure you are up to the task? The king rumbles, looking down at me. We've heard from Lord Elrus. What of you? Many would vie for this position. Why are you deserving of it? The queen gives him a look, but says nothing. My work will speak for itself, but it doesn't really say much, does it? I'm a diligent and hard worker. I am dedicated to my tasks once given them. I like to see things through to completion. I take great pride in my work, Your Majesty. He watches me closely and then nods. We shall see. Anyone can say a few pretty words. It's what you do that defines you. I don't like being disappointed. The queen places her hand on her husband's gently. We'll see how they perform, I don't know why I'm coughing. Didn't have this problem earlier. She shifts in her seat, and servant rushes up to help fix her dress. Now, let's move on to the duties that will be expected of you. We've had an open position in our staff for some time, and I would like you to fill it. The king glances across the hall, jaw tightening. Leave us. The court quickly scurries away through the castle, whispering to each other as they go. The doors shut with ringing slams, the sound of muffled footfalls fading. Now it's just us in this large, empty chamber. The only sound is the brazier crackling and my own breathing. What's the position? Our second son, Prince Railan, requires a new servant. Someone to tend to his chambers, keep them clean, bring his meals, prepare him for the day and before bed. We would keep his company for anything else he might require. Queen and king share a quick glance. I didn't realize there was a prince in the kingdom, not that I've kept up with the affairs of the royal family. I know the princess, the venerated heir to the throne. Oh, okay, so the heir is the princess for once. Usually it's the prince that's the heir, and but I should have known better with Gray as the creative director. She comes out to the town often, always with a bright smile and care for the people who need help. What happened to the prince's former servant? A new servant, if I may ask, what happened to the old one? You may not ask. But the queen places a hand over his again to calm his temper. It's a fair question. Railan has had many servants over the years, but they tend to fit other positions in the castle better. My son is... She trails off, glancing at her husband. A recluse. He grunts out, leaning back in his chair. And has been acting in a manner not befitting a royal. He needs a push in the right direction and someone to clean his life up. There have been problems with past servants. He tends to send them away rather quickly. But he has been forbidden to do such with you unless there is a genuine concern. That is why Her Majesty and I shall also be keeping an eye on you. Is that understood? Yes, Your Majesties. We are counting on your skills to help remind him of what the daily routine of a man of his station is like. We also expect confidentiality on this matter, and in return you shall be more than fairly compensated for your time and work. She tells me my salary, and it's the best I've ever had. It would open up many possibilities for my future. When do I start? There's a release of tension from both of their shoulders, and the queen beams at me. Wonderful! You'll be a good addition to the team, Alex. We've been waiting for the right person, and I hope that we finally found them. You are dismissed. He turns to one of the guards by the doors. Allow the court back in. This meeting is concluded. Our head servant, Polina, will help get you set up. You'll start your duties tomorrow morning, bright and early. I nod and follow after an older woman who leads me out of the throne room. We arrive at the servants' quarters, which are kept simple but clean. At the very least, I have my own private room instead of bunking with the other servants in the castle. Once there, the head servant clears her throat. you've been assigned to His Highness, haven't you? Yes, ma'am. She just hums in response as she helps me set down all of my things. Good luck. And she heads off, keeping quite busy with managing everyone. I sit down on the bed. I'm starting to grow nervous about meeting the prince tomorrow morning. But for today, I settle in and familiarize myself with the layout of the castle. I learn where the kitchens are and how to get around to all the places where my duties may take me. Then, even though I'm not supposed to start work until tomorrow, the head servant comes by and asks me to help wash up all the dishes from dinner. I feel like I should agree here. I do as I'm instructed and help out with the washing and drying. It might not be my duties, but I'll tend to them anyway. I toss and turn. The bed is strange beneath me. Will this really be my home? I suppose only if I can make it work. I don't know what awaits me in the morning. I won't find out any faster by staying awake. Eventually, I fall asleep. In the morning, I'm up early to arrive at the prince's bedchambers. It's nearly dawn, exactly as I was assigned by the head servant. I rap on the door. Silence. I try again. Nothing. I look around, wondering if I've been given the wrong directions or somehow have gotten lost, but the prince's chamber is isolated in one of the large castle spires. I try for a third time, and this time I hear a voice.
Oh, will you stop that racket?
The door wrenches open, and there stands a half-dressed prince, hair awry and bags beneath his eyes. Nice. Very nice.
Who the hell are you?
That's a way to greet people. My name is Alex. I'm your new servant, Your Highness.
Oh, gods, not another one.
He leans against the door frame, tossing his head back.
I do not require a servant. Your services are not required. Oh, do you know what that means? Go and find something else to do with your time. Oh, it's too fucking early for this.
Storms off back to bed, shutting the door in my face. This is going to go well. The door is not locked, and the king and queen said that no matter what he claims, he doesn't have the power to fire me, so I go in. The room is messy, to put it lightly. He's pulling the covers off. There's ash across the floor from the fireplace, which has been put out. The curtains are drawn, and it's a miserable, cold, dark place. I shiver instantly. He glares at me as he sits on the bed.
I told you to leave. What are you doing in my chambers?
I was hired by the Majesty to serve you and help with your needs.
I don't need or want your help. Oh, I keep telling them I'm doing just fine.
Yes, you're doing perfectly well. The state of his chamber says otherwise. Exactly! Start cleaning. I don't say anything. I was hired for a job and I'm going to do it. Start brushing away the ash from the fireplace and cleaning the room up. The prince watches me with confusion and disgruntlement. What are you doing? Cleaning, Your Highness. This is why I was hired. I'd like to get paid. I ordered you away. You don't need to waste your time. Their Majesty said that I answer to them and not you when it comes to matters like this. He sighs between clenched teeth. But I'm at your disposal for other needs. Let me clean up and then I'll fetch breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. I'm going back to bed, and I don't want a stranger in my room while I sleep. He yanks the covers over him, half collapsing in bed.
I want to be left alone. You're dismissed.
He says it just like his father did, but without the same booming tone. It's a much weaker, whinier tone. I'm going to continue to clean. I ignore him and continue to clean up. There are dirty dishes scattered across the room, and I sort them out and stack them to take back to the kitchens. I sweep the place as best I can and get rid of any visible messes. I'll need to do a more thorough cleaning when the prince is not sulking in his bed. Take the plates out and head to the kitchens where I go and wash up. As I take a seat, the head servant appears, an apron around her waist. Ah, you've just seen His Highness, haven't you? You can tell? Listen, if you need a different job around the castle, I can reassign you. Everyone here knows that Prince Railan is, well, he can be a lot to handle. There's no shame in finding another place here. The pay is good, regardless if you're worried about that. But I was hired for this specific job, and while the prince has been less than pleasant to me, am I ready to throw in the towel? I think of the state of his chambers and my fingers twitch. I've got to get in there and clean, if even for my own sake. and being reassigned means a pay decrease. I'm not willing to give that up just yet. I'll think about it, but I'm not quitting yet. We've had one morning. I'll need more than that to decide. Besides, his chambers are a mess. Someone needs to clean them. Her lips pucker, but she nods. Well, don't be saying later that I didn't warn you. She hurries off and I finish my breakfast. So, attempt 1 was met with failure. We'll wait until tomorrow to make another attempt. I don't think he'll take kindly to one now. I'm not sure. So, nice. Hi, Gray. You're very welcome. So right now, I'm going to roll a dice to help me decide what to do. If I can find a D4. Here we go. Hey, come here. I gotcha. I win. Okay, so there's 2 options. So I have a D4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Take time for myself. Okay. Technically off work, I get some time to relax in my room and occupy myself. There's a decent selection of books in the servants' quarters and an area for us to relax. Wildshire has always prided itself on literacy rates and education for everyone. Railan can be a little bitch, I fear. Yeah, I got that impression already. I've already met him. That night I wonder how the next morning will go and how I will handle the prince going forward, when he doesn't seem to want a servant at all. I return to the prince's door once again and knock. Your Highness, good morning. It's Alex. This time I don't need to wait as the door whips open. Prince Railan stands there, fully dressed in his room, looking at me with disdain. You've returned. I'm surprised, considering you were let go. Only the king and queen can fire me, your highness. He sighs between clenched teeth and straightens his doublet.
Very well. If you're so eager to be my servant, then I have a few jobs for you.
Okay. He glances around at the chambers. Firstly, this place needs to be cleaned. I want it spotless. Prove to me why you were chosen by their majesties. By tonight. As I look around the room, I take in the state it's in. There is no way I'll be able to finish. And if you cannot heed my simple request, then I will simply have to go to their majesties to explain that you're unfit for your duty. Talk about being a petty bitch here. Let's stand up to him. Let's call him out. That's not fair, and you know it. I stand up for myself and cross my arms. He keeps a stony expression. I'll never finish by tonight. That's a ridiculous ask. I want to help you clean this place up, but you've got to give me a fighting shot. Railan stares me down and then takes a deep breath. Fine, but you want an order? Then get to work. I start by throwing out his clothes and placing them away to be washed. The prince steps out to his balcony, ignoring me entirely. I don't know why he bothers staying while I work. Stripping his bed, I place the sheets away to be washed as well. Then I sweep the entire room and drag a cloth down to wipe everything. Looks as though he's been living in squalor for all this time. Get his ass, yes! He needs someone to stand up to him. I knew something was off by what the king and queen said, but this is more than I imagined. Do they even know the extent of his living conditions? Shouldn't they have sent a servant in to clean while the prince is out of his room? I bet he's never been out of his room, that's the problem. Questions running through my head, I grab the carpet and head to the balcony, lugging it behind me. It's finely made, perhaps one of the most expensive things I've touched. I need to shake this out, your highness. Could you? He steps back, watching as I shake the rug out, and I take a deep breath of the clean air. I can see into the courtyard below. There are a few others in the castle who glance up, noticing the movement of the rug. I can hear their voices even from here. Is that the prince? I really haven't got a look at him in ages. Prince Railan quickly heads back into his chambers and shuts the balcony doors behind him. I knock on the door, rattling and trying to get in. He's locked me out. Of course he did. Hey! He grits his teeth and yanks the doors open again, ushering me inside before closing them firmly. I place the rug back where it belongs. Do you ever leave? What? He frowns at me, but I press on. Your room, I mean. Are there no servants who could come in while you were out? What does it matter to you? Because this place is filthy and you've just been living like this?
You shouldn't speak to me that way. I'm your prince. Remember your place.
You're being rude. No, you're being rude. I round on him as he glares at me. Just because you're weird about servants doesn't mean you can be rude to me. I'm here to help, Your Highness, and the worth of a noble is in how they treat those they consider below them. Don't lock me out again. You're acting like a petulant child. You want me to treat you with respect? Earn it. He straightens, rolling his shoulders back as he stares me down. We keep eye contact for a long time. He breaks it first, but doesn't say anything back. I grab his sheets and strip the bed to bring them into the wash. The prince sulks in a corner, but I catch him watching me while I work. Pulling and folding the sheets into a hamper, I glance up at him. Yes? He frowns at me. I didn't say anything. You were staring. Can I help you? He leans against his hand, one leg lazily swinging back and forth.
Isn't that what you're doing? Helping me? Ugh. But no one ever asked me if I wanted it, did they?
He rolls his eyes, muttering things under his breath. Take his pillowcases next and add them to the hamper. Why did you take the job anyway? What did they promise you? Tons of gold? A permanent position in court? Others have tried to work their way up. It doesn't last. I like working. Keeps me busy, and I keep in shape. Couldn't you do that anywhere? I was recommended for the job by Lord Elris. I was his servant before this. He snorts. So he sends you away to go clean someone else's place? Must not have liked you that much. No, he passed away. The letter of recommendation was one of the last things he did, so he knew I would be taken care of. He falls silent, like going still. Get his ass, yes! Sorry for your loss. Call him out for what? He's saying that he's sorry that we lost our previous employer. What is there to call him out about? Or is it more his attitude in general? I don't see the point in calling him out here. Thank you, Your Highness. He just grunts and waves me off with a bob in his throat. Looking out the window instead, he allows me to take away the hamper to be washed. There are wash basins in the servants' quarters, and I clean them there, adding soap to the buckets. It's hard work, and I need to leave them to dry overnight, hanging them up in the courtyard outside. Washing up, I head back to the prince's chambers. Well, this place isn't spotless. Drags a finger along the top of his dresser, showing me the tip. It's clean. There isn't any dust. He frowns, glancing at it, and then wipes it against his pants. I suppose not. Was my work satisfactory? No, so you'll have to continue tomorrow. Now, go get me spare sheets, or do you think I'm just going to sleep on the mattress? I do as asked, making his bed and getting the covers fitted and new pillowcases on. Last rays of sunlight vanish below the horizon. Good night, Your Highness. He glances my way, looking me up and down.
With your zealotry, I'm surprised you're not going to tuck me in too.
I can if you want me to.
God, no. Don't touch me.
He's blushing. I see that blush. He waves me away with a roll of his eyes. I close the door behind me. I've still got a little time before bedtime. How do I want to spend it? We can't be a workaholic, so let's join the servants. Many of the staff are out dancing in the courtyard, and one of them has a fiddle. I join in, laughing and dancing as we spin around each other, elbows interlocked. I'm exhausted by the end of it and collapse into bed. Prince must like having new sheets, because when I arrive the next morning, he doesn't get out of bed. He just mumbles something at me, turning over and covering himself in a blanket when I open up the curtains to let the lights in.
Close the damn curtains.
You need the sunlight in here, and fresh air. Absolutely not. That's an order. No. We're gonna open it. I don't listen and fling it open. Perhaps he is a vampire by the way he recoils. But it lets in a fresh breeze, helping the air out the stale room. Railan flips over, back to the window, a few locks of hair blowing in the wind as sunlight streams in against his back. He likes you. Yes, he does. Well, that's the point. He is the romance interest. I grab the next pile of laundry, all the prince's expensive robes and clothes for formal events. Be careful with those. He leans on an arm, glaring up at me. I intend to be. Handling with care, I take them away in a hamper to be washed, wondering if he will even get out of bed today. The servants' quarters await once again as I get set up with a large wooden tub of water, sorting out all the different fabrics to launder. They built up a thick layer of dust. Doesn't the kingdom often have fancy galas and parties? Wouldn't he wear these there? But they're untouched. I'm looking around for the soap. Wasn't it here the other day? Where did it get to? Suddenly a young servant I've seen only in passing comes up to me. Looking for something? I nod. Yes, the soap. Could you help me? I have some right here. Use this. She hands me a bar, and I dunk it into the water, starting to wash the clothes as I thank her. You're Alex, right? Their Majesty's new project? Project? She places a hand on her chest. I'm Jacqueline. I've been working here for years. I scrub at the prince's clothes, nodding along. The water becomes dark and soapy. I don't like this. It's funny. All the others that took care of the prince were all promoted from within. They worked for the royal family for years beforehand. And then they all quit? Relocated. His Highness is hard to please. She kneels across from me. One of my sleeves slips down and I tug it back up, my arms covered in water and suds. What do you think about him? I don't trust her. At all. It's an honor to serve him. I try not to grit my teeth, not wanting to complain about the prince in front of the other servants. I'm honored to work with His Highness. She raises a brow. You don't need to pull that with me. We all know he's an asshole. She traces a finger along the edge of the tub as I grab another of his shirts and start to clean. Pretty bold of their Majesties to hire a stranger to serve their son. Maybe they wanted an outsider's perspective. Jacqueline snorts. And what exactly are you bringing to the table? Nothing that any of us can't do, too. I stop, sitting back on my heels. Do you have a problem with me? There are people here who have worked far harder for their Majesties who deserve that position more. This would be a promotion to you with the way he acts? Don't play dumb. You're making over twice what we are for the same job. Their Majesties weren't so desperate for someone to fix their son. Don't get settled in. You won't last. And you'll get the job instead. Someone more deserving than you will. She gets to her feet and I dunk the last of his clothes into the tub to soak. Have fun with that, Alex. His Highness is very particular about his clothes. The way she says it doesn't sit right with me as she leaves. I pull out one of the first shirts I washed. It was a white dress shirt with frills along the hems. It's streaked with gray. The fabric is starting to strip and pile, little bumps across the surface. Oh shit. I knew it! I knew there was something screwy about that soap. I fish the soap out of the water, examining it. Usually I would use a soap that's much softer on the fabrics, but this isn't it at all. What did she do to it? I start to go through all the clothes, leaving them in a heap as I rinse out the bucket, trying to fill it up again, but I can't get all the suds out. Finally get a new bucket entirely. It's a lot smaller and awkward to use, and all the while the clothes have been sitting in a sodden heap on the floor. I dunk them, trying to rinse them out, but it makes the strange gray streaking worse. I keep rinsing and squeezing them out, but the fabric is getting ruined. The clothes are more expensive than anything I've ever owned. This cannot be happening. Slumping back, I realize I have no idea how to fix this, and I should be expected back soon, but I don't think he'd care if he never saw me again. He'd probably be glad for it. I hang them up to dry anyway and leave them and head back to my room for the rest of the day. I knew I mistrusted her for a reason. I miss Lord Elris. He was always kind to me and patient. He loved to tell stories that his children and grandchildren were coming in and out of his manor with laughter. The work was easy. I was compensated well. Life was good. What did I get myself into here? The next day I take the clothes back to Prince Railan. They're nearly ruined, the gray not coming out, the original colors fading, and the fabric stripped. I carry them in a hamper and bring them to his room. He's out of bed and glares at me as I enter. Your Highness, What? Why do you have that look on your face? Getting up, he yanks one of the shirts from the hamper and stares at it, shaking it out. What did you do? You're a servant. That was highly recommended, and this is how you treat my belongings? He flings it over his shoulder, going for the next one and staring at it in horror. These were all professionally made and tailored just for me, and they're ruined. His face goes red as he gets ready to rant some more. He's barely let me get in a word to explain. Just a moment. There's a cat that wants in. Hi. Oh, you're actually coming in this time. Hi. Yeah. Yes, it's our youngest cat, Patches. I knew it was her because she didn't play with my do not disturb sign. That's my other cat. Hi. Well, come on. You went in my lap. Nope, she's gonna stay on my bed. Which is probably for the best. Let's tell them the truth. It's not my fault. Grabs another, gawking at it every which way. I'm not looking for excuses. It's not an excuse, it's the truth. I was tricked and set up for failure. Glaring at me over the ruined shirt, he grits his teeth. How, exactly? Jacelyn, I mispronounced her name. Jacelyn gave me the wrong soap. Who? One of the servants. She's worked for your family for years. He just waves that off. So she gave you the wrong soap. What about it? I blinked, gesturing to the clothes. How do you think this happened?
I don't know. I've never washed clothes. It's why I have servants.
It was the wrong type, and I think she added something weird to it that came out ruined, and then she distracted me so I wouldn't notice while washing. You shouldn't have been so distracted. How was I supposed to know people in this castle would sabotage me just to get this position? It's not like it's a very good one. Ooh! Okay, are you gonna leave? Yes. I left my door open so she could leave. Raised my voice, and he takes a step back, clutching another of the shirts and staring down at it. Are the rest of the servants making enough money? How am I supposed to know that? Because you're the prince. So, take that up with my parent. Their majesties. Tosses the other shirt away, sitting back on the bed in a huff. And didn't that one just fuck with you? Why are you trying to get her a raise? Because they should all be making more than enough. He waves a hand lazily and flops on his back. I'm not the bookkeeper and they wouldn't listen to me anyway. I picked the clothes up that he threw on the floor and back into the hamper. What do you want me to do with these?
I'll have to take pay from your wages to buy all the replacements.
I make a noise of protest, opening my mouth to argue when he holds a finger up.
That was a joke.
You have a terrible sense of humor. Alright, how about another one then? Uses momentum to pull himself back up to sitting, looping an arm around the bedpost. If this Jacelyn wants to be my servant so bad, why doesn't she come up and meet me? I might need a replacement after all. Leave the clothes here. I do as asked, getting the head servant to summon Jacelyn to the prince's chambers. Staying quiet, I lean in from the doorway to watch and out of sight. You know, Jacelyn, I've heard such glowing reviews of your work here in the castle. Really? Thank you, your highness. I'd like to put you on a trial run. You see, my last servant made a terrible mistake with my last clothes, and I've had them fired. So here's a chance to prove yourself. Get these clean, and I'll take you on as my staff immediately. Her face falls as she glances at the hamper. Oh, what? Not up to the task? He leans in.
If you ever try a stint like that again, you'll never work in this castle again, or anywhere in the kingdom. I don't care about some petty rivalry. It's your fault these are ruined.
Damn. I don't know what Alex told you, but they're a liar. They are a stranger. You can't trust them. And I can trust you? Get out of my sight and take the clothes with you. She grabs a hamper with a huff and storms out the door. She stops when she finally notices me and glares my way. This isn't over. Of course there's a rival. As she runs down the tower stairs, I figure I need a stronger lock on my bedroom door. Pronto. I walk in where the prince lunches on the bed, staring at the door. Thank you. He waves dismissively.
Don't do that. This wasn't for you. She ruined my clothes. She's lucky she wasn't fired on the spot.
You would have fired me? I already tried, remember? Not allowed. So now go, and the next time you wash my clothes, check the soap first. Yes, your highness. The next few days pass on similarly. I wake up, eat breakfast, and help tend to his chambers as he makes snide comments or no comments at all. Does it just mean does this look different? It looks better already. It only takes a little bit to get everything in proper order and the room to be replenished and clean again. I take a look at what I've accomplished, feeling proud. The curtains are pulled open, letting sunlight stream in through the windows, and the place feels livable. Is my work satisfactory, your highness?
Fishing for compliments, are we? You've done fine. Now go, and maybe I'll get some peace and quiet.
I'm still your servant. I was hired to serve you, not just to clean up your room. This is an ongoing process.
Ugh.
He lets out a dramatic sigh, dragging his fingers down his face. Turning around, he shuts the windows, stopping the breeze. Pass around the room and out to the lands beyond in the window, I tilt my head. Why don't you leave your room? I've never seen you come out. He glances over his shoulder, face darkening. That's none of your business. You, as a servant, shouldn't be commenting on how I live my life. It is my business whether you like it or not.
I don't like it. You always have to push it, huh?
Yes. I don't get why asking a simple question is pushing it. He just shakes his head. I don't answer to you. He flings back onto the bed, staring up at the ceiling. He waves a hand at me. Duel dismissed. Nothing left to do. As the prince isn't going anywhere, I make my way back to the servants' quarters. Many of the servants are in a rush, preparing the crown princess's tea party she's hosting. I just try to stay out of the way. There's a noblewoman there, which is a surprise. Most of the courtiers and nobility steer clear of our quarters. She's talking with the head servant, holding a heavy ledger in her hand and writing things down. The head servant gets caught up in another task, quite literally pulled away by another servant. To my surprise, the noblewoman addresses me. Alex, is that correct? Yes, ma'am. Can I help you? No, I'm quite all right. Thank you, though, my dear. She flips through the ledger. Ah, I've been rude. I'm Lady Celise. I've been advising their majesties for years. What are you doing down here, then? She chuckles. Everyone here is part of the castle, are they not? So they're my responsibility as well. I make sure everything is going smoothly, and I wanted to check in with you. With me? Yes, indeed. I know you've been assigned to His Highness. How has it been going? He's a handful. Celise laughs at that. He always has been. I knew him as a young lad, a bright young thing. Really? It escaped me before I could stop myself, but she just grins. Oh yes, the stories I could share. I'd like to thank you for the job you've done so far. His room is cleaned up. Wrong voice. His room is cleaned up. It was in a state of disarray. That will be good for him. He wasn't very pleased at having me do it. Railan has been like that as of late. All of his previous servants were not treated with the respect they deserved. It's not my place to apologize on behalf of him, but no, you're appreciated. Just doing my duty. I took the job for a reason. I'm happy to do my duty for him. Celise nods sagely. He wasn't always like this, you know. When he was younger, he was truly the gem of the castle. Sociable and friendly, the life of the party, and an excellent dancer. Always running out and about, riding in the fields with his friends. His sweet son heart hasn't been ridden in years, you know. Her smile turns sad as she wrings her hands together. What happened? He hasn't had any visitors. Does he even leave his room? Rarely. It's been breaking my heart, in all honesty. That's why I keep encouraging their majesties to find servants for him. He needs the help. Celise lets out a long breath, eyes shutting. After a rough patch, he just retreated, and she leans in as her voice lowers. Their majesties have been focused on getting the princess prepared for her role as heir, and Railan has fallen through the cracks. This is much to put on you with your duties, but can you try and help him? Take him outside to the gardens, get him back to his old interests. He still loves spending time in the library poring over books. Perhaps he will open up some more. Okay. No way I'm saying he's a lost cause. I'll try. I don't know how it'll go, but I'll give it my best shot. Thank you, Alex. You don't know how glad I am to hear that. She gives me a soft smile. I should leave you to your duties. What did I interrupt you from? The prince handily dismissed me for the day after I had upset him. Ah, well, I have an idea. She heads over to the kitchen where a baker is hard at work making tarts filled with jam for the princess's luncheon. She speaks with them softly and takes a few on a platter to hand to me. These are his favorites. His sister always has them out in case he ever decides to join her one day. Why don't you bring them up to him? I nod, bidding her farewell, and head back up to the prince's chambers. When I knock on the door, he grumbles from within. I told you you are dismissed. I really am the only one who's ever knocking on his door, aren't I? I have a delivery. Should we say it's from his sister or from Lady Celise? I mean, technically it's both, but we'll say Lady Celise. And jam tarts from Lady Celise. Just leave them outside the door. But there are mice in the castle. I'm not putting it on the floor, Your Highness. Some muttering, and he finally unlocks the door and glances down at the tray. Fine, leave it on the table then. I head over and place it down. They're still warm. He dusts my hands as he sits, still looking and not eating.
Are you just going to watch me while I eat?
He finally takes a bite, letting out a breath.
Haven't had these in a while.
Are they good?
They're fine. You can go.
He waves me off, taking another tart. I leave him to it with a final bow. I've been serving the prince for a couple of weeks, and the days are often the same. I make his bed and open the curtains. He complains. I bring him food from the kitchen and tidy up. Nights I have for myself. He's most unlike Lord Elros, who at his old age always had papers coming in he needed me to collect or deliver, heading out into the town or having guests over. Prince just sits mostly, unless he's doing something in secret when he shoos me away with a frown. Though I suspect he's just getting back into bed because the blankets are unruly again. I think back to what Celeste told me of how he was a few years ago. She wanted me to help him, but how? She mentioned that he liked to read, so one morning I bring a few books for him and place them on the table. What are these? You've never seen a book before? Gotta be snarky. You don't know what a book is? You're impossible. Try looking in a mirror.
Of course I know what a book is.
He snatches a book from the pile with a huff. I've already read this one. What's it about? Why do you care? I'm just curious. He waves a hand dismissively. Well, I don't know. I read it years ago. There's this gardener who is pulled into this other world and meets all these strange folk. He puts the book down. A hard swallow. Stupid premise, now I say it aloud. Did you enjoy it? He scoffs. What does it matter? Besides, the really important things are figures and numbers about the kingdom, right? Not silly little fantasy novels. But you don't read figures and numbers about the kingdom. He runs his fingers through his hair. Is there a point to this? So you brought me books I've already read, and this is what, a children's book? Gardener that ends up in a strange land. That doesn't sound familiar to me, but I feel like I should know. He picks up a thin book, flapping the pages about before tossing it with the others. No! Be careful with the books! Have you read all of the books in the Royal Library?
That would be impossible. Most of them are terribly boring.
What sort of books do you like? What does it matter? He leans against the back of the chair, an arm bracing himself as he rocks back and forth. Just my new duties? That's just... No. I want to know. I do want to know. Because it's important to me.
My favorite book is important to you.
I want to know what makes you happy. He stops rocking at that, growing still. Why? Maybe you'll stop being so bad-tempered. Yes! He huffs what could almost be a laugh, moving a hand to cover his mouth with a cough. Fine. Most of the books I've read are historical accounts of works of fiction and fantasy. The history was fine, the fantasy less so. How so? He places his fingertips over his chest theatrically. A prince should be preparing for his life ahead, not wishing he had another. With an eye roll, he shakes his head. I should be studying the various countries, since I will be married into one of them someday.
Being forced to do something takes all the joy out of it.
Now we're getting somewhere. Doing things you enjoy is part of life. Tell that to my father. He shuts his eyes, taking a seat with another frustrated sigh. He finally takes hold of one of the books. I have no use for these. Take them back to the library. Ooh, first flirt. Of course I'm going to take the flirt option. What if you read one to me?
Excuse me?
The one about the gardener. I take a seat across from him as his brow furrows.
Was this all a ploy to gain access to the Royal Library?
Oh no, you figured me out.
Take it then. I have no use for it.
No, I want to experience it with you.
Why? Don't be weird.
Who eats blushing? It's not weird. If it's something you enjoy, then you get to read it again, and I get to hear it too.
I don't have time.
You don't do anything all day. You just sit here. Might as well sit here and read. Honestly, for me personally, just sitting in my room all day and doing nothing at all would be torture. I need to have something to distract me. Usually when I was younger, before internet, I would read books. I read all kinds of books. we've always had a computer, at least one in the house, for as long as I can remember. So we usually played games on it, and we actually had to start setting a timer to give each other to make it fair, spending time on the computer. And then when we started going to college, that's when everybody started getting their own computers, so then it didn't matter. Someone get Railan an iPad, right? Right?
You push your luck. You know that? Most royalty won't stand for your backtalk.
But he grabs the book anyway and flips open the first page. Reading the opening passage, we're drawn into a world of a large garden and a soul gardener tending to it all. Railan clears his throat.
This feels strange. You are staring at me.
Am I not allowed to look at you? He meets my gaze.
No, I don't know. Look at the floor or something. Makes me feel all...
See? He waves a hand in front of his face as if that would explain it. All what?
I don't know. Just don't look at me.
He's so flustered. He's cute. His cheeks heat and he covers his face with a book, mumbling the words. I can't hear you when you do that.
It's always something with you.
He lowers the book and speaks normally. I focus on a spot on the table, but Sleep glances at him every so often. He looks calmer when he reads, a lock of hair falling in front of his eyes that he brushes away. His voice is rather nice when he's not shouting at me. I don't even know how much time has passed when he looks up again, clearing his throat as he takes a break from reading. I've been so absorbed into the story. Sets it down, page first along the table and stretches.
Well, that's the first 3 chapters done.
That was nice.
It was?
Why is that surprising? He just shrugs, getting up to get water. We should do this again. We need to finish the story after all.
It's a long book.
I've got time. He watches me for a moment over the rim of his glass.
Well, I'm stuck with you, aren't I?
He gets to my feet. I'll see if I can order some new books for the library for you.
What an efficient servant.
See, it's good having one around. I bow and grin. He doesn't quite return it, but there's a slight twitch to his mouth, but he takes a sip to cover it up. I head back out. A few days later, I bring the prince breakfast and set it down on the table. He's leaning with one arm on the chair, resting his chin. He still hasn't dressed yet. Oh. I suddenly press both buttons. He squints at the food, eggs and bacon. Again? Never decide what you want, so I pick up what the kitchens make. Do you want to put in an order? He takes a plate and eats it while I make his bed. He's not complaining when his mouth is full, at least. Hang on. Getting a cough drop. Open up the curtains and doors to the balcony, letting in the warm, fresh air. It's a beautiful day out. Some birds land on the trees, singing pretty songs. Police did advise me to take him outside. I've already got him reading, and I can see one book next to his bedside table. Nice weather we're having. He frowns at me. What? It's nice out. Don't you want to get some fresh air? Gotta take him on a walk. Like a good pupper.
You've already opened the window. What more do you want from me?
I've heard the gardens are really beautiful this time of year.
So, go see them then. You're certainly not kept by me.
Don't you want to come with? He leans back, sucking on his teeth. What are you planning now? To take you out to see the gardens.
Who gives the orders in this relationship?
Certainly not you. That's a good one. He stands up, arms stretching over his head. I'm not even dressed. Luckily, that is also part of my duties. I take a few options out, laying them over the divider. There's some new clothes in circulation after the fiasco with the sabotaged soap. I had them delivered and brought to the room, and now keep a private cache of laundry materials locked away in my room. He dresses behind the screen, and I pass him a comb. He would not have allowed me to be this close a few weeks ago. Coming out from behind the divider, he still has stray strands of hair. I gestured to them. You've still got... He frowns and swipes them back. If you let me uncover the mirror, you would have noticed. He just scoffs, fiddling with clasps on his cuffs. Why do you cover it up? Because I don't need it. He heads out to the balcony, looking down at the courtyard. I stand just on the threshold, refusing to give them a chance to lock me out again. This is stupid. I'm not going out. Why not? I'm busy. What duties do you still have to attend to? What do you still have that needs to get done? I could help you. He shuffles some papers around on the desk. Just these. I take a look at them. They seem to be confirmation orders for more outfits. So just sign them and I'll get them sent away, Your Highness. He does so, dipping a quill into an ink pot and scribbling out his signature. I go to deliver them before returning. So you're free. He helps shutting the balcony doors firmly. They're the royal gardens. I'm sure there won't be many people around if that's what you're worried about. I'm not worried about anything. I'm questioning why my servant thinks they can order me around. It was a suggestion to get sunlight and fresh air. It's not good to spend all day cooped up in your room. Says who? Says any physician anywhere. Hasn't the royal physician been by? There's nothing wrong with me. I never said there was. It was implied. The royal physician doesn't just come around for tea. No one does, do they? Not anymore. Railan frowns, crossing his arms. Lady Celeste told me you were always out with friends. What happened? I fail to see how that's any of your business or hers. Nope, I'm not giving up on him. Stop being so stubborn. She just wants to help because she cares. I didn't ask for it. People usually don't. Doesn't mean they don't deserve it. He rolls his shoulders back, closing his eyes. Fine, you want to go out to the gardens? We'll go out to the gardens. Then let's go. He stumbles at the edge of the door, gripping the edge of it before following me down the stairs, one hand trailing against the wall. How long has it been since he's left his rooms? We make our way through the castle. A few curious glances jot our way, and whisper amongst the people we pass as they glance at the prince. He just shrinks into himself, not making eye contact with anyone but the floor. Oh, what happened to him? Eventually we get out to the open air and a place with more privacy, the royal gardens. They're beautiful, lined with carefully cultivated flowers and walking trails, and a bubbling marble fountain in the center. A refreshing breeze blows through, mussing his hair that he tries to fix. Isn't this nice? He just grunts in reply, but follows me along the trail. There's nothing special about it. What are you talking about? This is the nicest place I've ever seen. Even the lords and ladies of the kingdom don't have sprawling gardens like these or a team of gardeners to maintain them. I don't know, it's just the gardens. This would have taken years to plan, build up, and maintain. A butterfly lands on a flower nearby. What's your favorite flower? Railan scoffs and the butterfly takes off. Seriously? Seriously. He just shrugs, glancing around.
I don't know. Sweet peas. The purple ones. I guess. You're not allowed to pick them, though. When I was little, I picked a bunch for Her Majesty.
He's not even referring to them as his parents. What happened?
But my minder just yelled at me for trampling the grounds and ripping them out by the roots.
What did the queen think?
She kept them in a little vase in water by the throne. My minder told her it was encouraging misbehavior and advised her not to display them.
I don't like this minder.
She listened, and I was confined to my room for the rest of the day.
I don't like this minder person. Clears his throat, shaking his head.
That was a long time ago. It doesn't matter.
He storms ahead of me, and I need to pick up the pace to keep up with him. Did you spend a lot of time out here? Where else is there to go? The castle is full. This is the only place with peace and quiet. Usually if my sister isn't around with her tittering birds. Birds? Courtiers. They suck up because she's the heir. He freezes suddenly, looking as though he's about to dive into a rose bush. Speak of the devil. A pair of ladies come wandering down the path, arm in arm, laughing to themselves. Railan attempts to hide behind me, but they notice us anyway. Is that the prince? Prince Railan? I haven't seen him in ages. Posy and Lilac. Interesting choice of names. And who's that he's with? They glance at each other before making their way over. Well, isn't this a surprise? You are looking ravishing today, Your Highness. What brings you out here? Oh, won't you join us for tea someday? We'd love to have you around. She places a hand on his arm and the other does the same, surrounding him and shutting me out as they bombard him with questions. Where have you been? Have they been keeping you locked up somewhere? And depriving us of your company? How terrible of them. His face flushes as he shifts uncomfortably, looking more than a little overwhelmed. Yes, step in. That's enough. I step up and hold out a hand. Unhand the prince and give him some privacy. They glance at each other and then at me. And who are you to be ordering us about? His Highness doesn't mind, don't you? They are my servant, and, he glances at me promptingly. And we've got a very busy schedule. His Highness needs to get going, if you would excuse us. They release him and curtsy back on their way. Railan lets out an audible sigh of relief. Thank you. I raise my eyebrows, a grin spreading. What was that you just said? What? He clicks his tongue. Did I finally get a thank you from you? Yes. He waves a hand dismissively, heading further into the garden. I scurry after him, glancing behind me to make sure the ladies are well out of earshot. Are you all right, though? You looked a little... I'm fine. Are you? He stops, shoulders heavy. They're just annoying, ultimately harmless. You sure about that? They think if we marry, they'll get to be the princess consort one day. A terrible blow to my sister, who would have to die for that to happen. This I have not missed. We stroll around the garden some more, some of the clouds darkening and making the sky gray, with a colder wind blowing in, blows strands of hair into his eyes that he keeps needing to brush back. As we pass a brick wall, sweet peas are growing in bunches, the purple flowers smelling pleasant. Raylan stops and carefully crouches, not getting his clothes dirty. Those are the ones I like. They're pretty. Crouch down with him as he brushes his fingertips against the delicate petals.
Do you have a favorite?
Okay, roses, tulips, peonies, daisies, chrysanthemums. Let's see. I'm going to look them up to remind myself what they look like. I don't want to say sweet peas just because they're his favorite. Because that feels rather disingenuous. Or it's a little too obvious. Jeez. Daisy is a very popular term. But I want to look at the flower. Okay. Chrysanthemums. Let's go with Daisy. That was my first thought. Plus, I had a classmate named Daisy. I like daisies. He nods with a hum, look at the sprawling gardens and straightens. I look at the sweet peas and pluck a single flower, twirling it in my hand.
Ignoring my warning, are we?
We will miss one flower, and I know someone who will appreciate it more. I hand him the flower, and he takes it gingerly, like it will wither under his touch. His brow furrows as he looks at it. I feel something hit my hand and I glance up. A raindrop hits me in the face and I blink away the water. We should head inside. Glances up too, holding out a hand as the raindrops start to splash down on us. Of course. He holds his hands above his head, though they don't offer much protection. We rush back through the twisting hedges and flowers and back to the palace, the rain pouring down. Hair slick with rain and plastered to his forehead, Railan grumbles as we shove our way inside, a few others fleeing from the sudden summer rain shower. The head servant comes across our path holding several dirty teacups on a tray. She glances up. Oh, Your Highness, do you need a towel? I'm fine. He storms past and towards the staircase up to his quarters. Head servant grabs one anyway, tossing it to me as I hurry after. The door is shut once I get there, but not locked as I push my way inside. His boots are tossed carelessly to the side, and he slumped down in a chair. I'll get a fire going. Drip the towel over the side of his chair and strike up a fire, sending the warmth and light throughout the room. Rain slides down the windows. Can you close the curtains? I do as asked, brushing the suit off of my hands, drawing the curtains and tying them. It hasn't touched the towel yet. I pick it up, hand closing around the fabric. Just leave it. It is still soaking wet and ruining this chair. You're done for the day. Dismissed. I'm your servant, remember? This is my job. Carefully take the towel to his hair, waiting for him to flinch back or complain, but he makes no protest. I dry his hair, leaving it soft and fluffy, and pick out new clothes for him to change into, getting him ready for bed. Railan is silent as I work, carefully doing up his sash. When I glance up, he's watching me. Are you all right? What do you mean? Since it started raining, you've been tense. Do you not like the rain? Does anyone like the rain? Some people do. Not being out in it and getting soaked. I'm sure there's someone who enjoys that. Railan snorts, clearly not agreeing. You must like it because you haven't even dried yourself off yet. I only realize it as he points it out and shiver. You're shivering.
Sort yourself out. Get by the fire or something.
Is that an order?
Not that you listen to them, but yes.
He sits down by the fire as I dry myself off as best I can. My clothes have gotten more wet than I thought and cling uncomfortably to me. Railan crinkles his face. You didn't think to bring a cloak for us when we went out? You can't predict the weather. It looked clear to me.
Get changed. I don't want to hear your teeth chattering. Just take whatever I have lying about. Not my nice clothes.
I head behind the screen, getting into one of his night robes. It's an awkward fit, but serviceable. I leave my clothes to dry by the fire, I head to the corner of the room and get a kettle boiling over the flames as well. Then I sit and wait.
That's what you chose to wear.
You said not to pick your nice clothes.
My servant in my dressing gown. You'll need to change back before you leave. Don't want people talking.
Yes, another flirt. Is that a problem? You don't want people talking? He waves a hand, rolling his eyes.
People gossip. Doesn't help either of us.
If we were secretly courting, then I wouldn't be parading around in your nightgown. He places a hand in front of his mouth. Shut up. Quietly chuckling and then clearing his throat. Was that a laugh?
No, you didn't hear anything.
No, I don't like you. Not that way. I just shake my head and smile, leaning against the arm of the chair. You had problems with customers before?
Everyone wants to know what the prince is doing. Who he's talking to, what he's saying. It's none of their business.
I'm getting an idea as to why he's been hiding in his room. He runs his fingers through his hair.
It can be exhausting. Sometimes I feel like a gilded toy they're fighting to possess. You saw those two at the gardens. An unmarried prince is a prize.
The contenders for a prize, and I am the prize. What do you want? He snorts.
It doesn't matter what I want. I don't get a say. But they don't either. Small victories.
It does matter. Why wouldn't it?
Because the people who choose are the king and queen, and no one's opinion matters more than theirs. So even if there was someone, it wouldn't matter.
Is there someone? He shoots me a glance.
Why do you want to know?
Well, I haven't noticed anyone sneaking in through your window for midnight tryst.
There hasn't been anyone in a long time.
And he shuts down, looking away and into the flames again, silence falling over the room. The kettle whistles and I pour our cups of tea, sinking into the warmth and letting it dry the rest of me off. Railan places the tea next to him and lets it cool, bags heavy beneath his eyes.
Thank you.
I smile softly. It's my pleasure, Your Highness. He shakes his head with a quiet scoff and takes a drink. I leave as soon as I'm dry, heading back to my room and sleeping soundly. For the next few days, Raylan stays inside and mostly keeps to himself. It seems he is building his energy back up after the last outing. There's a knock on my door, which startles me. Usually I'm the one doing the knocking. I open it, and the head servant is holding a vase. Oh, good, I caught you just in time. You have a delivery, perhaps from a secret admirer? They didn't leave a name. She hands it to me. A bouquet of pink daisies is nestled within the vase. Oh my gosh, I knew it. I trace the petals, and she gives me a quick smile before leaving. I place the flowers in my room, adding a cheery addition. I head to Raylan's chambers. He's already awake, sitting with a book balanced across his knee as he lounges in a chair. He glances up. The flowers were beautiful.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Sure, look at that blush. Right, well, if you were the one who sent them, it was a thoughtful gesture. But it can't have been you, right? It'd be far too nice.
Doesn't sound like me at all.
They were stolen from the garden, I promise I won't tell. A smile threatens to tug at his lips, and he quickly looks back down to his book. You know, there isn't much for you to do. I made the bed anyway, as he never does it himself, adjusting a few things. Actually, there is something planned. Oh God, what do you have now? You could sound more enthusiastic. Could be a little more grateful. Clicks his tongue. I'll be exactly how I want to be. We're going riding. I spent some time getting this prepared. Celeste had mentioned how much he liked horseback riding, and his horse had been neglected for the past couple of years. He sucks in a breath. Well, I'm sure, my understanding from taking care of horses, take it with a grain of salt, because what I know comes from reading books. They need to be exercised regularly. So even if the prince isn't riding her, I'm sure the grooms and stable hands are making sure she's getting exercise at least.
With Sunheart? How has she been? I haven't...
His brows draw together, drumming his fingers against the arm of his chair, glancing away. She's fine and well cared for. She's waiting for you. I can't. What? I haven't ridden in years. I barely remember how. She should have another rider by now. You're the prince. She's been saved for you. His face darkens and he doesn't look at me. It's a bad idea. Something will go wrong. I'm thinking something did happen. Some sort of riding accident. How do you know that? You won't even try? I don't want to do it. Not now. Oh, I'm not giving up. We're doing this. Well, it's set up today, and I've heard that Sunheart misses you. He squints his eyes at me. She told me herself. I'm a horse whisperer.
Your guilt trip isn't working.
Are you sure? But he gets up anyway with a sigh and follows me out, crossing through the gardens on the way to the stables. Also, Sunheart? I was a lot younger. There's a dragon in this book I was reading that I named her after. It's cute. Did you ever picture yourself riding a dragon instead? He rolls his eyes as I laugh. You did! We arrive at the stables where the stable master is waiting with the horses equipped and ready for us. Hey, girl. He strokes her mane and she nuzzles against his shoulder. His eyes are soft and then looks crestfallen. You probably did miss me, huh? We took her out for plenty of rides, Your Highness, but she looks happy to see you again. I get astride my horse, a tall, even-tempered stallion. Okay, this one I am going to use dice because, I guess this one. I miss using dice. So, 2 options. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 2. This isn't something I'm used to. I'm a little uneasy, the horse trots back and forth, and the stable master runs me through a refresh of the basics. Once ready, we head out past the gates, a few guards watching as we go. One calls after us, Prince Railan, you should have a few guards with you. We'll be fine. Alex here is a trained knight. The guard looks at my simple, unarmored clothes. Right. Let's get out of here. Raylan and I share a look. I pick up speed and we take off, fleeing the scene as the guards yell after us. They let out a whoop as the hooves thud against the ground. We ride along through the fields past the village and into the highlands of Wildshire, the mountains far in the distance and pushing through the flower-dotted grass. away from the hustle and bustle of a castle where there is no one to join us but the wind. Aww! Railan slows down, a comfortable trot as we move along. The wind blows in his hair and he takes a deep breath of that sweet mountain air. And he smiles, a true, honest smile that lights up his face. He closes his eyes, leaning back in the saddle with both hands on the reins. A laugh escapes him, something warm and croaky.
I forgot how nice this was.
Of course I'm gonna flirt. You look nice when you smile. His eyes widen and, is he really blushing?
Oh,
You haven't done it much. It's nice to see.
you think so?
I nod, smiling at him.
It, feels nice. Cheeks ache a bit.
No, that just means you need to smile more. Get used to it again. He rubs at them as if trying to make the blushing stop. He busies himself with the reins.
There's not been much to smile about most days.
Then we'll appreciate today.
It's because of you.
He's looking at me and then smirks and looks down at the horse. Oh, is he catching feelings?
Isn't that right, Sunhearts?
He strokes her mane again, affectionately.
I'm sorry. I should have been there for her.
He shuts his eyes, brow creasing. Why didn't you? Out here, it's not like you're running into people.
It's not about the people. It's just... It was just easier. To stay in. To not be questioned by the guards. To not get the stable master asking why I haven't been around. I didn't want those conversations. But now I feel like something to gawk at.
No one here but the birds to gawk at you, unless you count me.
Somehow you don't count.
Aw, should I be flattered or offended? He shrugs, a grin emerging.
Take it however you want.
He urges Sunheart forward, taking off across the fields. See, you're right back in the saddle like no time has passed at all. I nervously follow after, the ground uneven and jostling me. My horse senses my unease and mimics the feeling. Railan glances back, doubling around to catch up to me. Come on, slowpoke, you've never ridden before? Barely ever. Wait, really? But you suggested to go riding? It was for you. He clicks his tongue and slows Sunheart to ride next to me. Did your... what was it now? He grips the reins, head tilting. There shouldn't be a G here. Completely different rein. Lord Elris, did he like to ride? Maybe when he was younger, he usually took carriages everywhere, but his children did. Do you still talk to any of them? I've been very busy with my duties in the castle. I haven't had a chance to see them. He chews on his lip. Go see them. Is that an order? If you like, or write to them. You can use our country's courtiers or rookery. Are they your only friends? What? I don't know. I just assumed that I don't have any friends. Well, you never talk about anyone. And you've never asked before. Lots of friends. I laugh. I have plenty of friends. I make them wherever I go. It's good for the soul. Oh, that's good. I toss him a look. Do you have any friends? He looks up at the clouds and pointedly nod at me. Only fair I ask back. I
did. Once. Various people around the castle. Even my sister sometimes. Friendly people. People to eat with, to swap stories, to go hunting with.
You go hunting?
I was never any good. I just liked the chance to ride. In all honesty, when my father took me out and killed a deer, I wept for hours.
Aww.
That's not painting a pretty picture of myself, is it?
It just means he cares. You're just being honest. It must have been upsetting, especially if he had no idea that's why his father was taking him out in the first place. He never took me out again.
He was disappointed. There were many things I was expected to be. A proper lord who can fight and hunt.
Uh-oh, and he's not.
Never been good with a sword or axe or any other weapon. Never able to earn knighthood. A prince who isn't knighted. What a joke.
Okay, this is painting quite the picture here. You like riding, though? I do like riding. He runs his fingers through Sunheart's mane. Sometimes my friends and I would go out and ride together, too. Why did you stop? I didn't have the energy. I hope they still go, without me. Were you not close with your friends? He scoffed. What are you talking about? Why don't they come around to check up on you?
Because I am only ever a tool for people to use. Being a friend of the prince helped their status. Now that they have that, and now that I'm out of the public eye, they have no use for me.
Yeah, I figured it was something like that. Just the ladies hoping to marry him, but yeah. Friendship requires nothing. It asks for nothing. They should just want to be with you. Did you have any true friends?
There was one. I thought they were.
What was their name?
Peregrine, a courtier from the north.
He works his job, picking up speed. What happened?
Things didn't work out.
I think he got his heart stepped on bad. Clouds roll overhead as he begins to ride faster. He's in his own little world now, eyes growing distant. Even since he said their name, it's like he's built a wall back up around him. Prince Railan? I call after him, a strange knot in my stomach, and try and catch up with him as hooves pound against the grass. He makes a sharp turn and holds onto the reins. Sunheart whinnies and his grip slips, and he takes a tumble and falls to the ground. He catches himself just in time, landing to protect his head. He winces, crying out in pain. Sunheart takes off across the fields. Everything happens so fast, I can barely process it. First, I get to his side. Are you okay? I'm fine. I just looks dazed and winces as he tries to stand. Strained a muscle, I think. Sunheart whinnies again, roaming free in the fields. What happened?
Got distracted. I'm fine. You don't need to worry.
But he grimaces again. I dismount. Can you get on? We need to get you back.
No, not yet. It was a good time. This has been the first good day. I don't want to go back.
Oh. His voice is nearing panic, and I don't know what to do. I don't know the extent of your injuries. I have to get you home. He looks more lost than I've ever seen him. He's not in a place to make decisions. It falls to me. I help him get astride my horse and urge him to start riding towards the castle. Then I call after Sunheart, calling her name and coaxing her to me. It takes some wrangling, but she's well behaved and does eventually heed me. I mount her and start to ride back. She is more stubborn than she is with Railan, but allows me to guide her back to the castle gates. Railan is quiet the entire way home. I get him back to his room. He complains as he leans on me, not wanting anyone else to see his injury. By the time we get up all the stairs, he's sweating, and I help him get into bed. I yank his riding boots off and help him into his nightwear. I'm going to get the physician. No, don't. Why not? What's going on? You were doing a plan. What happened with Sunheart? I just wasn't thinking and not paid attention. She picked up speed and I couldn't control her. Get your leg up. We need to rest it. You need to rest it. Blah. He does as asked. Why won't you let anyone help you? Anyone we pass on the way up here could have helped. I don't want them to see. I look like a fool. How? For hurting yourself by accident?
Exactly. The prince finally goes out and he gets injured. Of course. Why wouldn't something bad happen and ruin it all? Something always happens. It's why I've stopped trying.
His voice is bitter and angry, but there's a deep undercurrent of sadness running through it. I was having a nice time with you. You didn't ruin anything. We can always go again.
I'm sorry, I'm not in my right mind.
I barely ever leave. I haven't left the castle in well over a year. Likely more. That's why we're going out. The fresh air is good for you. I grab him a sack of books to read and make sure his pillows are flat, and he just lays there and rests. His eyes follow me as I move about the room, and I take a seat near the fireplace. You can go back to your room. No, I'll be here. I'll keep an eye on you and be here if you need anything.
I just don't get it.
Get what?
I don't understand what you get out of this.
What do you mean?
Taking me out to the gardens, out riding, always arguing to stay with me. What do you get out of this?
I get to spend time with you.
No one likes spending time with me. Not unless it's fake, or frivolous, or they're trying to get something out of me.
And there it is. I do. I don't have to be here. I could listen and go away when you tell me to. I could have found another job.
Why don't you?
Because I see something in you that's worth it. That you sit in your dark, lonely chambers all the time, but I know that's not who you're supposed to be.
And how do you know what I'm supposed to be?
I may not, but I'm willing to learn and to help, because that's what a friend does. A true friend.
You think we're friends?
Aren't we? He's quiet, lashes dipping against his cheeks.
Yes. I suppose we are.
I sit back in my chair, and we stay that way until we both fall asleep. When I wake the next morning, there's a blanket draped over top me. I blink, bleary-eyed and confused. I glance up to see the prince sleeping in bed, snoring into a pillow. My neck aches from the awkward position, and I rub at it. Railan yawns, stretching and sputtering awake. How are you feeling? Railan grunts. Sore. I tug at the blanket. Did you do this? He shrugs, glancing away.
You looked cold. Can't have you freezing to death.
And you need to stay off that leg. But I sigh and wrap it around my shoulders. Thank you. I could use the rest of the next few days, and I stick nearby to get him everything he needs. After a day or two, Prince Railan allows me to bring in the court physician to take a look at his leg, and she comes to the same conclusion. Some bed rest and a mild tonic for the pain. I bring him his meals and a few more books to read. Put the sack next to him, heavy old books that he peruses through. I've never seen these before. That's the point, so you have something new. He takes it and flips through it, eyes lighting up. I just smile and leave him to his reading. It'll give him something to do while resting at least. Alex? He circles for a moment, mouth twisting.
I, appreciate it.
I bow and leave him to it. The blush! Days blend into the next, a steady routine of serving the prince and then returning to my chambers at night. At the end of the week, when I'm delivered my pay, I notice it's higher than usual. I catch up with the head servant, who is humming to herself as she washes the dishes, handing me a towel to dry. Have you heard the news? What news? Everyone got a raise. You would have received one too. Everyone? Every servant, cook, and gardener in the castle. We're celebrating with another dance tonight. You should be there. To thank their majesties? She scoffs, waving a hand. Ah, forget about them. It was only under the advice of Lady Celise. Don't tell them I said that. The energy is different in the servants' quarters, people laughing and talking more than usual as they're in good spirits. I finish drying the dishes, and I'm immediately handed another task to wash the rags and hang them out to dry. I step outside near the gardens and see Lady Celise talking with a few others in the court, chatting animatedly. They walk off, and she notices me. Ah, good morning, Alex. Good morning. Did you increase the pay of everyone in the castle? Well, not everyone. Those at the top don't need anything more. I wanted to thank you. Don't thank me, though. I appreciate it. It was His Highness's idea. Railan's? You're on a first-name basis now? Yes, and that's his name. It's his name. Why wouldn't I use it? Well, it was Prince Railan's idea. He said it was under your recommendation. She gives me a quick smile before carrying on her duties and leaving me with that. I start my day by swinging by the kitchen to grab breakfast for His Highness before heading up to his chambers. It's a wobbly journey with so many stairs and carrying a full pot of tea, but I've made enough trips to balance myself. I knock on the door before letting myself in. He's lying in bed, legs stretched out. Why do you bother knocking? It's not like I could let you in. To let you know I'm coming in. It's polite, and you weren't letting me in even when you could stand. I set the tray down and pour in some tea. I ran into Lady Celise. What did she want? He shoves a biscuit into his mouth, avoiding looking at me. Well, there's a lot of happy workers in your castle. Not my castle. His words are muffled with his mouth full. You're a part of the royal family. Of course this is your castle. I just wanted to thank you for getting everyone a raise, like I said. Railan just shrugs. They needed it. You should let Celise tell everyone it was your idea. Why? It was your idea. But it only happened because you listened. Not everyone listens. It's a good thing. Let them be thankful.
I'm not doing it for thanks.
Doesn't mean you don't deserve it. He runs his fingers through his hair. Besides, only Celise could have talked Mother and Father into it. They don't listen to me either. If they knew it was my idea, they should be proud of you.
Well, they're not, and they dismiss it out of hand, so better it comes from her.
I'm grateful to you. He just makes a grunt from the back of his throat and busies himself with his cup, but there's a little smile he can't hide. How's your leg? Flying. Bored out of my mind, though. Already read through the books? Well, what else do I have going on? You need a hobby. You're one to talk. Excuse me?
Do you have any hobbies other than taking care of me?
You're not a hobby. You're work. I have things I like to do. Reading, dancing. That's all. Why are you judging what hobbies I have? Because you were doing it first. Well, I also... okay. Chess, embroidery, sing, bowl. That's an interesting one. So, since there's 4 options, I'm going to use my D4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoop! I almost dropped it. 2. Do embroidery. Okay. I embroider. Got any of your work? In my room. Show me sometime. Why do you want to know?
Am I not allowed to want to know things about my servant?
Because he's never bothered before? He finishes breakfast. I take the tray to the side and open the curtains. There's a group of guards laughing and talking to each other in the courtyard below.
But you're not just my servant. You're my friend. And friends know things about each other. Like their hobbies.
Aww. Hi. My other cat's in here. I appreciate you trying to be my friend.
I don't know how good of a job I'm doing.
You get points for trying. I take a seat at the end of the bed. Can I ask about your other friend, Peregrine? He stiffens, bouncing out the window. You started talking about them and then you fell. Is that normal?
I don't know. I haven't thought about them in a long time. Tried not to.
Shadow. You do this every time. You start clawing up the window and I start yelling at you and you get mad at me for yelling at you. Well, I'm a friend, so I'm here to listen if you want to talk.
They weren't just a friend. I was in love with them. I wanted to marry them. I really thought we were going to.
What happened?
They arrived here years ago. A courtier from the north. They were funny and smart and challenged me in ways no one had ever dared. How could I not fall for them? They were beautiful.
His voice is soft, reminiscing, before turning harsh.
Seems stupid now. They made me think that they cared. They told me everything I wanted to hear. That I mattered to them. That I was important. That they loved me. That I could do no wrong.
Hi. Okay, he's left.
They didn't care at all. They wanted to use me as a piece on the board to drag Wiltshire and my family into their wars. There was
Oh, that's out a shaky breath.
an assassination attempt on my sister. It nearly cost her life. Lady Celise had been investigating the correspondence Peregrine was having from back home.
Oh, really?
They couldn't prove their kingdom was responsible, but Peregrine was held guilty. They used me for information about the castle, about our lands and state. And with my sister out of the way, I would be heir. And they had seduced me. They would rule beside me and command our armies.
This explains so much.
The day they were taken into custody, they were exceptionally cruel.
Mm-hmm.
How could they ever love me when I was unlovable? That's what they told me when they left. And I loved them. And to hear that, to know all they had done, and all of the lies and plots. Their country surrendered them, claimed they were an independent agent. My father took me to their execution, told me this was the result of my... oh, how did he put it? My recklessness and stupidity for letting them get so close. Things just changed after that. It was already bad, getting worse over the years. But after that,
He trails off, glancing to the side.
everything just stopped. I was never quite like my sister. Something I was reminded of frequently. I could find no motivation to bother with anyone. Why? When it would only end in another heartbreak. Someone else to use me, to pick me apart the way handlers and my father have for years. If I were here, I would be safe from that. I could just be myself. But I lost myself along the way.
Why didn't anyone try and help you?
They did. Sent every physician in the country at me, thinking it would solve everything. I'm not well.
I know, and that's okay.
It's a chore to leave. And part of me wants to, especially after these last times with you. But I've isolated myself so entirely that now I've been something to gawk at while I do. And I hate it. I don't want them looking at me or judging me. I wish everyone would forget I exist.
Do you really? He's quiet for some time. The only sound is his unsteady breathing.
It would be easier.
For who? For you?
I could remake myself.
You can do that anyway. Tell your story the way you want to.
I'm the prince, the second born. My story will be told for me.
These are both kind of good. I kind of like both of them. Make it work for you. And carve a path within the confines of your duty. Choose things that will make you happy.
You really think it's possible?
I believe in you. He shakes his head.
You shouldn't.
I'll help you.
It's not pleasant work.
He gives me a crooked smile, eyes softening.
You drove me crazy, you know, when you first arrived.
I could tell.
No one speaks to me like you do, but I needed it to get out of my head. All of the other servants just duck their heads and try and make me happy by doing nothing but their duty, serving my every need. I didn't feel worthy of it. They didn't treat me like a person. You did. I should say.
I was not very kind. You were not.
To have another person in my space was jarring. For them to push and prod me even more so, I thought if I was terrible to you, you would just go away, and I could be alone again. But you do not deserve such cruelty. It's what I never wanted to be. Some sort of tyrant, barking orders, and treating people below him with such disrespect. I hated it. Even as the words left my lips, it felt like a hazy dream. I didn't understand why I was being so mean. But I didn't want to like you. I didn't want to even try and get better. You forced both issues. I'm going to continue to try. I'm not asking for forgiveness. But I'm sorry. I will never speak to you in such a way again. Only with respect. You've been a very good friend.
Aww. Only a friend? Move closer from the end of the bed. Just a friend?
Oh, and you're a very good servant too. Of course.
Ha 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 ha. He smirks, watching me closely. Only the best fit for a prince.
Yes, because all the good servants talk back.
I shrug. You like it.
Yes, I do. I was shocked by the audacity,
exactly.
but it's got a charming quality to it.
You think I'm charming?
Only a little bit.
I nudge his arm and he grins, nudging me back. Then his smile drops and he looks out the window. Everything alright?
Sometimes it feels like it did. With Peregrine.
Look at me. take his hand. It's warm in my own, fingers closing around mine. His breath catches in his hand at the bare contact. I'm not going to do what they did to you, and you are lovable. You shouldn't have never been made to feel like you weren't.
Even when I'm like this, a mean-hearted recluse.
I've shown up even when you're like that. Even the ugly parts of you are lovable, Railan.
I like it when you call me by name.
He brushes his thumb against mine.
I don't know what I did to deserve your kindness.
People don't need to deserve kindness. They should get it no matter what.
You're too good for me.
I think I'm just right. His eyes trail down, watch my lips as I speak. He swallows hard, a noticeable bop in his throat. He draws back, fingers flexing. He wets his parted lips, the air heavy between us. He doesn't move his gaze from my lips for even a second, his own worry beneath his teeth. He presses his wrist against his mouth, eyes fluttering shut. His next words come out shaky.
Forgive me.
Nothing to forgive. I'm thinking it too. He pulls the covers quickly over himself as he leans away from me. The tension dissipates. I get to my feet. I should let you rest up.
All I've been doing is resting. Stay. Just a little longer.
I'll pull up a chair. We spend the rest of the night talking and laughing. It feels good to make him laugh. I share stories of my time with Lord Elros, and he tells me of his childhood and all that he used to get up to. We talk until long after the sun dips below the horizon, and I don't have a care in the world. Okay. Need a quick break, and then I'll be back and hopefully keep going. Okay, I'm back. I also went to get some more water. I continue with my daily routine of tending to the prince, washing clothes and sheets, keeping the room clean, and bringing him his meals. I've saved up a very decent amount of money, more than I was making with Lord Elros, and more than I truly could have ever dreamed of. Railan has been much easier to deal with as of late, as he heals from the injury, so his bad moods often swing by. He's quicker to stop himself, and even apologize when he gets snappy. It's a welcome change. I finished bringing him his dinner for the evening when the head servant stopped me on my way to my room. Their Majesties have requested your presence. Best not to keep them waiting. I go as asked, heading quickly to the throne room. The king and queen sit on their thrones, gazing down at me. The king rests his fist against the cheek, and the queen sits with perfect posture. It has been some time, Alex. How have things been going? I've heard he's injured. I take a small intake of breath. We had hoped that it wouldn't get back to their Majesties. Under your watch? We went riding, your Majesty. Reckless. At least he went outside. She speaks to him privately before focusing her attention back on me. Is he well? He's healed up. But is he well? I pause a moment. He's reading again, and he wishes to visit Sunheart more often. We even went out to the gardens. I remember a story of the sweet peas in the vase that the queen had discarded after the advisor had told her to. If I may ask, could I have flowers from the royal garden to brighten his room with? The king scoffs, but the queen holds up a hand. Indeed, which kind? I feel a little twist in my heart when I realize she doesn't remember that story at all. Sweet peas. Arrange it with Paulina, the head servant. Thank you, your Majesty. I think he's feeling much better. How wonderful. About time. She places her hand on the back of his. I think he's ready. He's far past his age. It's been long enough since, well, she and the king share a look before she turns back to me. A suitor. To find his match, of course. All of the nobility from Wildshire and the kingdoms beyond shall be in attendance, vying for his hand. Make sure he's in the best shape he can be. By the end of the night, he shall be betrothed. The thought of all those people, all of the attention on him, and how he reacted to those girls fawning over him. He's going to hate this. And suddenly I feel an uneasy burning flash in my chest. It stings at the thought of others attempting to woo him and make him so uncomfortable. How could they do that to him? How could they? I'm struck that what I'm feeling isn't just protectiveness, it's jealousy. Yes! When I look up again, I see the king's gaze squarely on my face and a disapproving glare as if he could pluck the thoughts from my head. My heart beats erratically as I try and calm myself. It is his duty as a prince to marry and marry someone deserving. We shall pick from the suitors and choose the best one for his highness. The words fall from my lips before I can help it. Doesn't he get to choose? Watch your tongue. But it emboldens me more. Doesn't he get to choose, your Majesty? If he has a strong attachment to a person, I'm sure that will be a potential factor. But do not question my husband again, Alex. I can only nod, throat tight. Queen inclines her head. We appreciate this report. You may return to your duties. My heart is pounding as I quickly leave the throne room. Late in the evening, I return to Prince Railan's chambers with a vase of sweet peas in hand. I knock on the door. Enter, Alex. As I come in, I hold up the vase and place it beside the bedside table. For you. His eyes light up as he examines the flowers, tracing the petals of one with a delicate finger.
Did you get them from the gardens?
I had a little help. He looks at the vase, his brow furrowing as the realization sets in. Oh, what's wrong? Never mind. I give him a stern look and he sighs.
I just had an image of you sneaking into the gardens and picking them yourself.
Well, I like keeping my job, your highness. He takes a seat across from the fireplace, a twitch in his jaw. You've been with their majesties. They summoned me earlier. You can tell? I remember how the servants would look as they'd come back after talking with them, rigid, tense. You look the same now. You're not gonna like this. You can't bite my head off, alright? I'm just a messenger. God, spit it out so it's less painful for both of us. They have seen how well you've been progressing and swallowed thickly under his watchful gaze. They're hosting a suitor's ball in a week's time. The invitations have already been sent out, and they promise by the end of the night you will be betrothed. Railan says nothing. It's almost worse. He just goes quiet and stares into the fire. The stretch of silence itches my skin, and I am the first to break it. Your Highness?
Railan. I'll have a lifetime of highness. I want some time left as Railan.
He squeezes his eyes shut.
I knew this would happen. That was the price of feeling better. A reminder that if I'm not locked in here, I'll be forced into a marriage with a stranger. That my life has been planned out since before I was born. And I live up to none of it, and they'll never let it go.
Can you refuse? It would dishonor my entire family and the kingdom of Wildshire itself.
That is one thing I cannot do. I could not humiliate my sister like that, if nothing else.
His gaze turns to the window.
Or face the world, out there. One I know nothing about. Inevitably get eaten by a dragon, or cursed by a witch, or all the things that happen to wicked princes.
But you're not a wicked prince. I don't think you're wicked. Ha ha ha! Is that what I just said? He shoots me a look. I don't think you're wicked anymore. I tend to the fireplace, bending down and adding to the fuel. I think you'd make a good toad. I can hear his quiet laugh behind me, and it makes me smile. But when I turn back around, his gaze has gone distant, his body stiff and closed off. Do you think you could find someone to make it bearable? Someone who would understand? Maybe someone who feels the same way you do? There may be, but after Peregrine, I understand. He swallows thickly.
I cannot trust any of their intentions. The ball will be filled with snakes, looking to better their station, and will do and say anything to accomplish that. These are not marriages of love. Anything but. I don't know if love really exists, but I won't find it there.
Yes, romance, yes. I feel a tightness in my chest, remembering that stinging jealousy I felt when the king and queen explained what was happening. I get to my feet in a rush of emotion. Then where will you find it? I look at him straight on as he won't meet my eyes.
How am I supposed to answer that? I don't know.
Tell me this then. Who's the sort of person you could love? In a ballroom filled with people, I'm sure there's one that will match the description.
This is a foolish line of thinking.
Tell me. He squeezes his eyes shut.
Someone who's nice.
That's it? Nice?
I'm not finished. Someone who makes me laugh. Someone I feel happy to see. Someone who can tolerate me.
More than tolerate. 1 second. My wrist is feeling a little sore. Tolerate? What about loving you in return?
I'll take what I can get.
You're not unlovable, Railan. I don't care what you've been told, but you're not. He's quiet, his breathing shaky.
Then, someone who loves me, despite my shortcomings, who is brave enough to challenge me when I'm wrong, who pushes me to be a better man because they believe I can be.
My heart nearly pounds its way out of my chest. He finally gets up and meets my eyes. I reach out, taking his hand. He flinches at the contact, but allows it. I hold his hand, brush my thumb along his inner wrist, feeling his wild pulse. His eyes wander downwards, dropping to my lips once again. It feels as though we stand on the edge of a precipice, both afraid to leap. I cannot be afraid any longer. Surging forward, I capture his lips in a kiss. He lets out a quiet gasp against my mouth before his arms wrap around my waist. His lips are dry and he's out of practice, but he kisses me like a man starved. There's one achievement. His hand is running through my hair, and I feel the back of my knees hit the bed frame, and we fall together, a tangle of limbs. I drag my lips along the side of his neck, and he has to fight back a moan. The one hand bracing him grips the sheets in a tight fist.
Wait,
He barely manages to pull away from me, bracing himself on the bedpost, hair disheveled. He brings a shaky hand up to his lips. Are you all right?
It's a lot. All at once. It's been a very long time. And we cannot.
Why not? He sputters for a moment.
You're my servant, and I'm your prince. That this has been a nice fantasy, but I should never have.
Technically, I'm not employed by you. I'm employed by your parents.
To look after me.
and I'm doing an excellent job of it. He makes a weak noise from the back of his throat. It's not like I listen to any orders you give me anyway.
It's what I like most about you.
Aww. His voice goes soft, then he presses his forehead against the bedpost with his eyes shut.
Oh, still, I cannot but feel that.
That what? That you're a prince and I am a commoner and never shall we be allowed to be together?
Their majesties would have you banished from the kingdom, if they knew. I couldn't bear it. I cannot lose you. I should not want it. Want you. But I cannot help it. I think of you each night and wish you were in my arms. Wish that I could grant you a castle, a kingdom, and have us stand as equals. You are my equal. No. You are my better. Better than I deserve. And yet I've fallen at your feet.
Do you want to kiss me again? He takes a deep breath and leans in once again as he holds my face. His lips taste sweet. I kiss him on the corner of his mouth, his cheek, and his forehead as he melts in my hold. Holding him tightly, I taste salt upon my tongue for a moment and pull back. Tears are streaming down his cheeks. I wipe them away and press him against me. It's okay. Let it out. Soon his shoulders shake with sobs as he cries into my shoulder. I rub his back soothingly as he weeps against me. I don't let go. My shirt is damp with his tears by the time he's finished, eyes red and sore looking.
Thank you. I haven't done that in a very long time. I didn't realize.
How much you need to cry?
Yes. Precisely.
I hug him again, nestling into his embrace.
I haven't been held like this in so long. Haven't been touched. Haven't felt someone's care.
I'm not going anywhere. He buries his face in my shoulder, and I'm with him until we pass out in bed together. The next day, the castle is in a flurry of activity. They are already preparing everything for the upcoming ball. After delivering breakfast to the prince, I have spent some time lending a hand in the kitchens and helping out where I can. This is kind of reminding me of Cinderella, except instead of Cinderella just working for her step family, we're actually working for the prince. And actually in Cinderella, clearly she comes from a lord. Her father was someone noble, obviously. It's just she's just been made to act like a maid. I'm tasked with returning Lady Selisa's jewelry to her chambers after it had been brought down to be polished and the gems reset. I dropped the ornate wooden carved box off, although she's nowhere to be found. After months with Prince Railan nearly constantly being in his room, it startles me to be alone in this fancy room. Don't think about it for the rest of the day, busy with everything else, until there's a commotion later in the evening. The head servant calls me over to talk privately, her face more serious than I've ever seen. There was something found under your bed. Do you know anything about this? She holds up one of Lady Selisa's necklaces that I swore had been in the box. I blink. But that should be up in Lady Selisa's room. How did it get under my bed? You tell me. I don't know. I would never steal, especially when I was the one in charge of putting them all away. People have done so in the past. They get desperate. How did you even find that? I swear I never took it. Jacelyn is in charge of sweeping the rooms and noticed it peeking out from under the bed. I knew it was her. I knew it was her, that bitch. My heart sinks in my chest as I see Jacelyn watching us from a distance. No, I am not going to blame her. You know my record, my dedication. My pay is excellent. I'm not desperate by any means, and it would be stupid of me to steal something and leave it so obvious. Dear, it was you who was last handling the jewelry, and it was under your bed. That doesn't leave me many options. I feel my heart sinking in my chest as she dusts off her hands with a sigh. I have to take this back to Lady Celise, and she and I will have a talk about your future here. Return to your duties for now. I take a dinner tray up to Prince Railan's chambers, heart pounding. I drop off the tray and pour him a glass of wine. He frowns as he watches me. You look different. Why is that? You're all... He pauses and I feel his eyes sweep across my features. What's wrong? It's to do with the other servants. I shouldn't involve you. There's something I have to clarify with Lady Celise.
Let me help. All you've done is help me. Let me return the favor.
I brace myself against the table, overwhelmed and shaking with the quiet rage of the false accusation. What happened? Before I can respond, there's a knock at the door. He glances between me and it, and I go to answer. Lady Celie stands there, hands folded together. Your Highness, may I speak with Alex for a moment? If they want to, I won't speak for them. She blinks at that, glancing between the two of us. Well, Alex, may I speak with you for a moment? I nod and we step just outside the door. I discussed with Paulina, the head servant. She's informed me that one of my necklaces went missing, and you were in charge of transporting it, and it was found beneath your bed. If you were the thief, it would be rather sloppy. I would never do such a thing. Then what, pray tell, did happen? Did it fall into your pocket? I believe that I've been set up. She raises a brow. Oh, go on. There's another servant. Her name is Jacelyn, and she's had it out for me before. She sabotaged my efforts when I first started working here, wishing that she had been assigned to my job and therefore with the pay increase. It's why His Highness petitioned for the pay increase overall. I see. And you believe she set you up? I do. It's your word against hers, and Jacelyn has been working here for many years. There's never been any incidents that I'm aware of. It wasn't Alex. The door swings open, revealing Railan, who's been listening the whole time. Of course he was!
They would never. I can attest to their character. They have been nothing but responsible and a hard worker, and would have no reason to steal. They have been working for me for months, and never taken a thing.
Jacelyn, on the other hand, has made a concentrated effort to sabotage them before, and has damaged expensive goods, holding no regard for them.
If there is any intention to let my servant go over this, then I'm afraid I will have to put my foot down as your prince.
Celeste blinks at the stern tone is turned on her. Then she breaks into a smile. It's good to see you, Railan. He quits to start looking down. Well, if it's something you believe so firmly, then I shall talk with Jacelyn and see if I cannot get to the bottom of this. She looks me up and down. And for what it's worth, I never thought it was you. I breathe a sigh of relief. Her eyes flick to Railan. What? Just be careful, little prince. Your heart may finally be in the right place, but some won't be happy about that. Remember yourself, your position, and your duty. She fixes me with a harsh stare. I won't say a word, but whatever's going on between you two, nothing is going on. Of course there isn't, and it will stay that way. Railan runs his fingers through his hair nervously. She gives a stiff nod and makes her way back down the stairs. Uh-oh. I place my head in my hands, shoulders sagging in relief. Thank you. You didn't have to come to my defense. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing that she's figured them out so quickly, but then she's known Railan for a long time, and she's probably well aware of that whole mess. But, yeah. I don't know how this is going to go, and that's what makes it so much fun. Of course I did. You've done the same for me. It's appreciated. He takes a seat, and I see the bouquet of flowers I got him sitting proudly by the fireplace mantel.
I'll never really be able to make it up to you, but I can try.
We can just start fresh.
No. I need to remember where I was before, so I don't ever go back there again. I have to remember all of the growth and change. A solid foundation.
He smiles at me and takes a drink of his wine, and I watch out the window. I can see the castle courtyard down below, and a single figure in hysterics holding several bags. It's Jacelyn, beaming. She was let go. I didn't like her. I'll drink to that. I laugh as I watch her leave, relieved that she won't be a problem any longer. Alex? Yes?
I'm glad you're still here.
Me too, Railan. The week passes quickly, and Raylan's mood deteriorates each day closer to it. He's restless again, spending time pacing in his room. I ask if he wants to go out to the gardens, and he always refuses. The day finally arrives, and I enter through his door. He's lying in bed, covers pulled up tight. Good morning. I open the curtains, and there's a groan from the bed. I'm
going to stay here all day. Bar the doors.
He pulls back the covers just enough to show his face.
You can join me.
I'm supposed to be getting you out of bed. He lifts the covers, and I'm not strong enough to resist. I shuffle beneath them, the sheets warm from his body heat, and the soft fabric of his clothes brushes against my fingers. He slings an arm around me, pressing his forehead against my shoulder.
Why would I ever want to leave bed when you're in here with me?
A quiet gasp as I feel his mouth work against my neck. He pulls back and looks at me, lips parted. He wants me to kiss him, and I lean in as close as I can before teasingly pulling back. Okay, thank you. He lets out an exasperated noise. Ask for what you want.
Kiss me.
That wasn't a question.
Kiss me. Please.
I lean in and kiss his cheek, which works beneath my touch in a blush. He braces himself on the bed, going to return the favor when I turn my head at the last second and capture his lips with my own. He lets out a surprised laugh against me, and we spend the morning in bed. The day passes with unease, and now I'm faced with getting Prince Railan ready for the ball, despite him dragging his feet. We have half of his wardrobe sprawled out across the room as he's been trying things on. Each piece he tells me when and where he first wore it, admiring the stitching and embroidery and all the details that make it up. He holds out a deep purple doublet with golden filigree on the sleeves and a fluffy white neckline. I wore this one at my sister's 18th name day. I don't think it fits anymore. He presses it against him and looks in the now uncovered mirror. Look at the lining on the inside. It's very finely detailed with the symbol of Wildshire and the royal family running as a pattern through the silk. He rubs it between his fingers. The buttons here. We used to get them enchanted so they'd never tarnish.
Ugh.
Releases the doublet with a sigh.
I wish I'd gotten something tailored for tonight. Sometimes I wish that I could do it myself. Had the eye for it. My sister used to embroider with her lady friends. And I would join her when I was little. My father didn't like that. He wanted me to take fencing lessons instead. I was never any good with it. Better with a needle than a sword.
It's never too late to start again. I have my kit. We could even do it together some nights. Truly, well, I'll appreciate it. He picks out the fine leather shoe and sweeps his eyes across the myriads of clothes around the room. His eyes have a sparkle that I've never seen before. Maybe we should do this more often. If we went out more, then we could pick other clothes for you to wear.
You're not subtle.
I'm not trying to be. He looks me up and down.
We need to find something for you.
For me?
You'll be accompanying me.
As your servant, no one cares what I wear.
I care. You deserve to look good.
Aw. It's a little late for me to go and buy something from town. I don't think your clothes will fit me. All the clothes I own are simply made and functional, nothing near the expensive velvets and silks and leather that adorn the prince's closet. I don't need anything fancy. What are you doing? He's circling me, beckoning me to hold up my arms. I hold very still as he examines me. He trails his fingers along the length of my arms, and I can feel the skittering of his breath along the back of my neck.
Getting measurements? Allow me to write a few letters. See if we can get you something nice.
I can't afford.
It's a gift. You don't pay for it.
He stops in front of the now finally uncovered mirror, gazing into it. Plucks a dress from his closet, the silky fabric like liquid draping over his fingers. Holds it up against himself, examining his reflection. For a moment there's a soft smile that crinkles the edges of his eyes before it fades.
I'm expected to do my duty and be their little prince. Fine, then I shall be a prince and spend all of their money before it's not mine anymore.
He swallows thickly.
And I shall be a man engaged by the end of the night. How lucky for me.
I reach out and take his hand. He brings it up to his lips and kisses my knuckles. It will not be out of love. I know. We'll figure it out together. He sighs, shutting his eyes and turning away from the mirror. Do you want to try on some of your newer clothes? I hold up a fancy doublet, and he almost manages a smile.
I will indulge in your attempts to cheer me up.
I help him into the jacket, carefully doing up the buttons for him. What if this is one of the last nights in this room? Will you really miss it? It's been more prison than bedchambers for you. I'm not overly fond of change and disruption. Maybe you'll be with someone from Wildshire, and you can both move in here. No, I don't want someone in my room. Besides, we'll stay at one of my family's country estates. But more than that, their majesties are politically minded. I suspect I'll be pushed towards one from another kingdom to form an alliance. What a delight for me. Finished doing up the last button and meet his eyes. Whatever happens, you know that you'll have me as support, because you can do so much against the king and queen. He sighs. My apologies. I know. He examines himself in the jacket in the mirror. Gods, no, not this one. I look like a frilly tablecloth. I'm quick to help him out of it and attempt to get him ready for tonight. I appear into the ballroom and it's filled with nobles from all over. I hardly recognize a single person there, despite the servants running food and drinks back and forth. At least I don't feel overdressed. Many of them are in finer clothes for the evening as well. I smooth down the clothes that Railan had got for me. Stop fussing with it, you'll wrinkle it. I've never worn anything like this before.
Pretend you have. Exude the confidence.
He leans in, lips brushing against my ear.
Besides, you look wonderful.
I feel my cheeks warm as he smiles.
My turn to make you blush.
He straightens his clothes and we enter together. It's an overwhelming number of sights and sounds and the smell of the food and the lights. Railan falters, blinking. All eyes are on him immediately as I stand to the back.
I need you up here with me.
Tonight is about you. I don't want it to be. The rush to the side and act as an anchor as we navigate the ballroom. I can see their majesties on their thrones watching as their son does a turn around the room. I wish they wouldn't stare. I'm not that interesting to look at. Just be polite. I know what I'm doing. Do you? Hush, you. A woman in a decadent dress stops us, cursing in front of the prince. May I have this dance, Prince Railan? He nods stiffly, tensing as she takes his hand and guides him to the floor, the band striking up as I stay on the sidelines. No one spares me a glance, and in a way, I'm relieved. I catch glimpses of Railan through the crowds, hounded the entire night by people vying for his attention. He's passed around like a doll from hand to hand for each new person to take a spin and play with. There's a queasy feeling in my stomach at the sight. My feet ache from standing in one spot, and I do a lap around the room, trying to stay near wherever Prince Railan was pulled off to in case he needs a swift exit. He's just finished dancing with a boisterous noble when he extricates himself and flees over to my side. Don't have a drink? Therefore the guest.
You're my guest.
He takes two of the pretty flutes of sparkling juice and hands one to me, down hits in one go, and pulls the face. There's not even alcohol in this. Going that bad, huh? Worse, everyone is so... Just as he speaks, another noble wearing an ornate mask places a hand on his shoulder, making him go rigid. They speak in a heavy accent. Excusez-moi, your highness, may I have your next dance? He pulls away from the grip with a dirty look that I'm oh so familiar with.
You're not excused. I'm in the middle of a conversation.
With a servant, this night is to celebrate you, not wasting your time. Prince Railan raises to his full height, a subtle step in front of me.
Get out of my sight.
Behind the mask, the noble pales and flees the ballroom entirely. You're doing a good job charming people tonight. I have no interest in charming someone like that. Guard approaches and bows before Railan. Your Highness, their Majesties request your presence. Sucks on his teeth and gestures for me to follow. I bow before the king and queen as Railan's posture remains rigid. You're looking well, my dear. This suits you. He scoffs at that. We have been speaking with suitable candidates. We truly want you to be with someone respectable who could make you happy. Were you happy after your own arrangement? He gestures towards the king and the queen straightens, her face growing harsh. I did what I had to for the benefit of my nation, just as you will. Love is something that grows over time and effort. What is more important is alliance and the strengthening of bonds across nations. What this will provide Vulture will far outweigh any misgivings you may have.
And so you force me to be bound to someone for all eternity, unwillingly.
That is no way for you to speak to Her Majesty. You've never seen her for ages, and you think... The queen raises a hand, placing it on top of his. It is good to see you, Railan.
I didn't go anywhere. You could have come to see me any time. You wanted. But you didn't want to, did you? After Peregrine, you wanted nothing to do with me.
Do not speak that traitor's name in these halls. Not tonight. It is clear your judgment is clouded. You cannot be trusted to decide your future for yourself. Be grateful that Her Majesty has even called you over to discuss this. His fists close at his side as Railan dips his head down. I feel my heart pounding in my chest. The Majesties have not spared me a glance, but there's a force inside me pushing me to act. Railan, you allow your servant to address you by name? I swallow. Apologies, Your Majesty. I meant, Your Highness, Now many eyes are on me, and I feel withered beneath them, but I force myself to stand tall. You deserve a say in this, even if it's picking from a list of options. If it helps Wildshire, then you could choose someone who best benefits the kingdom, and someone you think you could handle. It doesn't need to be love. It won't be love. You don't even have to like them or even live in the same place. We'll make it fit. The king gives me a stern look for speaking up, but the queen's eyes soften. We can help you make the arrangements that best suit you. Let's discuss potential options. They begin to confer as I stand off to the side. Railan looks a little relieved that he's allowed to have input, and they debate the merits of each potential match for him. Each one comes with potential alliances or resources that could help Wildshire. Of course, that's why they would pick them. When they're done, Prince Railan is pulled away to go and speak with those who could be the greatest benefit to Wildshire and see if he could tolerate them. I spend my time waiting and watching the ball, people dancing and spinning in an impenetrable bubble of wealth and glamour. Come to the gardens with me? I jump, having not heard him return. I give him a nod, and when eyes are not on the prince, we make a swift exit. The night air is crisp, and the sounds of the ballroom slowly fade as we find privacy outside. Are you all right?
I am. I've surprised myself with that. But you've helped me reframe it in my mind. I do not owe love to this person. If it helps the kingdom and my sister.
He sighs.
Life will be so different. How do you even speak with someone you are to be wed when you do not know them at all?
Nicer than you did to your servant who you didn't know. You're not wrong. Just be polite. I'm sure they might feel the same way. Did you find someone? The Lady Mariana. She is a fourth-born daughter, and her marriage would secure her kingdom's exports of all their metals and coal from their mines, which Wildshire sorely lacks, along with their alliance and protection. And she's quiet. She did not make any attempt to woo me. I had no intention of being wooed tonight. What about by me? He chuckles.
You have already done so. You need not again.
He takes my hands.
You were right, you know.
Of course I was. What about?
There was someone I could see myself loving from this crowd of people. And it was you.
No. Your bride-to-be might not like what we have.
Or perhaps she can have one of her own. What do I care where her heart lays when mine lies with you? While I may not be able to love you openly, I will love you all the same.
No. Love?
Isn't it obvious?
He takes my hands, intertwining our fingers.
You are in my thoughts, my heart. You've changed my life and turned my world around. I love you.
There's nothing that could stop that. I love you, Alex. He draws me into an embrace and I hold him tightly. And now? My family will announce the engagement. I think I shall take a country home near the border of both our kingdoms. It will get me away from the castle. I'm sure the fresh air will do wonders for you.
And you're coming with me, of course?
There was no doubt in my mind.
But not as my servant. I want to arrange a suitable position. Steward, perhaps.
That's for nobility, Railan.
I don't care. You're fit for the job. And all of the perks that come with it.
His shoulders relax as he lets out a breath.
Please say yes.
Yes, of course I will. And there's a royal wedding to plan before all of that. It's going to be awful. We get to find you something nice to wear for the day.
Always trying to cheer me up.
Takes my hand and spins me.
I wish it was you I was marrying.
We're going a little fast.
I am marrying someone I met tonight. This is how nobility works.
He kisses me then, tasting a sweet wine.
Will you dance with me? Before I am bound to another.
I can hear the music coming in from the ballroom, a sweet romantic melody. I take his hand and we sway and dance together. Railan is a good dancer. It almost surprises me how confident he is at the spins and twirls and steps. His hand rests along my hip in the center of my back as he leans to kiss me, and the entire world melts away. I love you too. His eyes grew wide for a moment, his breath catching. He said it to me. You think I didn't feel the same way?
It's different. Hearing it's from you.
I love you. He kisses me again. It feels like the seal of a promise. With a wistful smile, he glances back to the castle, and I follow in step. The betrothal will be announced soon, and wedding preparations will send the castle into a true frenzy. Life will change forever after this. My life was unlike anything I have ever envisioned from that point onward. I continued to serve as I had before, now in the country house manner of Lady Mariana, Raylan's new wife. It's been months since the wedding, and I think we've finally settled into what has come of our new day-to-day life. I think for most, such a thing would be depicted as nothing short of an absolute nightmare, but they couldn't be any more wrong. Not only did I live in a gorgeous manor as the new head steward, but I'm in charge of the other servants. With it has come an idyllic pay increase as well as management to ensure the servants are worked and paid fairly. Usually such a position is reserved for minor nobility, so I count myself amongst one of the lucky ones. Not that there wasn't a great deal amount of hard work necessary to obtain and now maintain such a position, but I was happy to serve as always. And even better, I was able to stay by Raylan's side. Raylan had done much better. Funny what some much-needed distance from his family could do. The less time he spent, the happier he seemed to become. Living the life he forged for himself was doing his duty. He still manages to visit them a couple times a year, mostly to see his sister, if nothing else. Despite what the family might have thought, the newly wedded prince and his wife, Lady Mariana, were a couple in name alone, having had their own rooms and beds since the night of their wedding. Even still, the two were far from hostile or bitter. There were plenty cordial dinners and game nights. Lady Mariana's heart belonged to her mistress, who happened to also be her bodyguard and first knight. Not unlike Raylan and I, who were an open secret within the household. I never thought that such an arrangement could work out so well, but we couldn't be happier. Yay! It's clear the king and queen are expecting a grandchild eventually, but I have a feeling that won't be happening anytime soon. I didn't want anything more than to have him by my side, and I'm sure the feeling was mutual. However that looked, wherever we were, no matter what, as long as we were together, then it would all be okay. Of that I was certain. Yay! Duty ending. Ta-da! Hooray! Thank you for playing. Thank you for listening. So, achievements. Chose duty. Thanks for playing. Kiss the prince. And let's see. Gallery. First glimpse of the prince. He's so pretty. Just gotta look. Okay, so that's it. Went a little long, but worth it. By the time it was getting close to the 2 hours, I knew we were close to the end of the story, so I kept going. Yes, I did have fun. It's a lovely little story, and I'm definitely gonna try to get those other achievements because I'm a completionist like that. I don't know what I'm gonna do next week. There's plenty of other games that I've been wanting to play. So next week, let's see. I think I'm available next Wednesday. Yeah. Or maybe I should stream on Tuesday just because it's St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. I'll have to decide on that. But for now, the rest. Thank you all for watching, and if you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Drink water, eat food, take your meds, take a nap, take a shower, whatever you need to do for self-care. And I'll see you next time. Bye!